Welcome back to Snap on This, a Marvel Snap podcast. This week's secret homework, play someone else's deck. I'm LaurenWhatevs, here with my usual amazing, delightful, effervescent co-hosts. First up this week, it is Ree. How was your week in Snap? And keep it snappy.
Okay, I did play some Snap. I just came back from a board game retreat, which...
Did you win?
I did win some, yes.
I mean, I'm sure you were all winners, but like...
I lost at Broom Service, the Kiki's delivery service game, so I lost twice really hard, so you feel like that makes up, or that detriments in your ass. Anyway.
It cancels out all your victory.
Yeah, I'm like trying to catch up. It was one of those like things when you go and for a weekend away and you're like, and come back so refreshed, hit the ground running, do all this stuff, and then you come back and you're like, that didn't happen. Behind everything. Okay. No, but a couple highlights. One, I will say for board games, I think the new game that I played, I didn't play as much. It was kind of like, Winter Pooba in, sorry, that's what we call our board game tree. In Spirit as well, just because, as Gandalf would say, because of the times that we're in. But, like, I played one new game that was a very little game that, like, even it just uses a regular deck of cards. So, like, it's almost don't have to buy it. I feel like that's why they made these really nice, clunky, like, poker chip tokens to go with it. So you would...
So you'd buy it, yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have a reason to buy it, to be honest. But, like, okay, fix this Venn diagram, because there's two kinds of games that I'm very particular that I don't like as much as some of my friends. And one is little, like, social hidden role games, like Secret Hitler and stuff, because I just don't, it's like you're adversarially arguing about, like, trying to convince people who's what, but you have very little to base it on, and it's just like, I don't like it. Doesn't
were you not taken by the Among Us craze of however many years ago that was?
I've never played Among Us. Like, I know of it, obviously. I've never actually played it, though. Okay.
I don't think you're missing all that much, personally.
Yeah. So, that style of game, I'm pretty picky about. For those, usually like bigger. And also, like, co-op games, I'm pretty picky on. Like, I feel like there's some games like Pandemic where it feels like you don't have a lot of agency in your turn because there's just, like, the best thing to do on your turn. So, like, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, and, like, easy you're almost, like, not in charge because, like, the whole thing is, like, we're all trying to do the best right thing, you know?
And there's like no hidden info,
no individualism, no expression of your own gameplay philosophy or whatever.
There is a Lord of the Rings one though that like I make an exception for because the thematicness is really good and I can meme the whole time, you know. So okay, but that's what I'm saying. I'm picky about like what I like because I do enjoy winning. And proving that I am better at grasping the rules and
of course
using them to an advantage. So like, so that's fun. But there's this new game. It's called The Gang, and I mean I don't know how it's named. I think it was there last time, so it's probably a year old at least. But the idea is it's co-op and it's over 3 rounds and you have to get 3 successes before you get 3 failures. And it's a card game. And then they also have little like side like round rule breakers that are detriments or helps. So you can add those. You can play without them, or if you want, like you succeeded this round, you can make it more difficult and then something to make it easier, you know, like balancing mechanics. So there's that part of it too. But the idea is it's just Texas Hold'em, right? And which is, you know, you see 3 cards, the turn, and then the river, 5 cards total, and you have 2 cards you get dealt out initially. And, you know, you get the best poker hand you can out of those cards. And the idea of the gang is that you are trying to put everyone in order. There's tokens for each player and the number of stars, and you're trying to put everyone in the order of who has the best poker hand to who has the worst poker hand. Vice versa, actually. Sorry, but without being able to talk about your hands at all. You can talk about what you think of other people's hands are, but you can't discuss your own cards. So you're each grabbing tokens, and once the last token is grabbed for that round's over. And then you see more. You see, it's like betting blind is first round, the river, the turn, flop, whatever. Missing all the terms. Okay, but yeah, so you get to see it, and it's like, this sounds simple. I don't even know if that sounds fun, but in reality, it did lead to very cool situations where I'd turn and I'd be like, okay, now, but see, she didn't reach for the 6 star, the best token, until she saw the 3. Therefore, I think she has a 3 or even a pair of 3s in her hand. But nevertheless, that would make her best hand, a full house with queens, which means that I should still have the 6th token. Thank you. Slide it back over, and it's like, oh, that's the kind of detectiving and revealing monologue I can get into. So so it was really fun. And I think what made it different for me, if you're someone who also doesn't like these games, is that even though you have you can't talk about your cards, you have no little to base on, you're not trying to deceive anyone. So the fact that you have nothing to go off of, it doesn't feel like, you have baselessly reasons side where people are lying or not. And and it's just a fun way to play poker, in that I just don't I don't really enjoy playing poker anymore. It's when I was younger, but now it's just I'd just rather play a board game and be part of a different fantasy. You know what I mean? In video games, I don't want to pretend to emulate real war. I want to have swords or space laser gun swords. Mm-hmm. I meant to take the swords off the last one. At some point, also, I'm fine with weapons that are not swords at this point. But anyway, so, yeah. Okay, oh my gosh. Okay, I was going to, I think, tell a whole nother story from my board game retreat. I think I've been going for too long.
I kind of think you should.
Or you could save it for
nothing happened in my weekend snap. You can have mine. Tell me. I want to know.
I want to ask if you've ever played The Crew, which is a co-op trick-taking game, but still a card game.
I think so.
Okay. That's another one that I love. I like trick-taking card games anyway. I think T2 is phenomenal.
Oh, I did play a new one. I forget the name of it, but have you played the trick-taking card game that's Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf? I played that one. It was fun, and the art was all the old, cartoony style, Steamboat Willie,
Oh, that's
kind of
cute.
pigs that. So, the art was really endearing, and anyway, I did well at it. So I like games usually when I do well.
Listeners, if you like co-op games or trick-taking games, The Crew does a phenomenal job of mixing them together. I wouldn't have thought you could, but anyway. I don't know if Ree's telling a second story. Is that what we agreed on?
I'll try and keep it brief.
Or don't.
It's not even related to board games, but it was kind of a highlight for me of this board game retreat is we have it now where we have some food we make ahead of time and that just needs to be heated up or frozen. And this time we were trying to avoid even ordering pizza one night, which we'd been doing. And some people had volunteered to cook, which is a big deal because board game for me, it's I will prep ahead of time. But once I am there, it is board games and chill. We are not in responsibility mode. So perhaps to people who cook. But anyway, so someone who was new, this was only their second time ever at the board game retreat, and volunteered to make a dish. And I remember we were they had just arrived that day, and they were like all day at this stuff, like cooking, and like people were getting like hungry. It was later than they thought, like for dinner, and the hours are going because it just like wasn't, but it's been going for hours. I didn't even know what was being made, so it was just like, we were all like, what's going, and and we're wrapping up games like, how long must we game with like hunger in our bellies? And then finally he's like, it's ready, it's done. And I was served like I would pay so much money for this at a restaurant, so much better than restaurant food. It was like, for me, it was the meat eating people had like lamb in it, but it was this rice and beans dish that he said he's like, well, it's, like it's like an old family dish, but it's kind of weird to say it because it's actually like the Iranian national dish. So, and mine was like just beans and like rice and this like sauce with other stuff in there, but it was just like, oh, okay. Like if you are like into the art of cuisine, whether by watching a lot of food TV or because you actually cook, I happen to have done both. You know that like there is rice and there is rice. You know what I mean? Like when I started like my cooking journey, I thought it was about learning to season. It's like, oh, I'll taste something, and then when I know whether it needs more salt, then I will be chef. Chef will be me. And I realized like seasoning part is the easy part, because that's where you just make it taste to the way you like. And it's like, that's not hard. You just start light and you keep going until you like how it tastes. You'll go past that. The hard part is actually learning like how to take any article, like a grain of rice from its pantry, fridge, shelf staple form, right? And helping it realize its full potential as a morsel to be consumed delicately within your mouth. And it's like, and that's difficult, right? Learning to cook rice, that is really, it's like when you get it wrong, it's so easy to just, write it off as just not that good food. It's like, right. Anyway, so this food was so good, and then was followed by this like really heartfelt discussion about like, stuff that was going on, with his family at large, and we're just having it over this like super good dish. And even though, right, like I usually, like for me as a vegetarian, it's like, oh, I'm having the substitute dish, the alternate dish. I found out I was actually having the OG dish because growing up, they made it with the beans and stuff because it was like, it's much cheaper, right? Like to make stuff with like dry beans. Oh, there's like dry limes in this dish. Like, I didn't like know that was a thing, mostly because I'm ignorant, but like it was just like, oh, so good. And it was just one of those where it's like, oh, give us the recipe. And it's one of those things where it's like, there's the recipe, and then there's stuff that's just like, he didn't even have a recipe. He found like something. He's like, oh, this is pretty much it. This is close, because it is one of those. It is one of those where, it's like, oh, this isn't something you can just make. This is something that was like, this is like passed down food that you have to learn how to cook, and like no amount of, 1,000 words in a picture or 1,000 words in text is going to like teach you how to cook just right. Anyway, so. Oh,
you just reminded, I got halfway. I'm still working on Snap Shooters. I had such a busy week. You came very close to one of my this or that's, and I was a little worried. Did I post it in our chat or something? Okay, good. I was like, was I dropping spoilers? No. Well, listeners in the future will be able to piece together which thing I was talking about.
Well, I got for like $4 or $5 at the outlet store just as a lark. I was there for like dog toys, but like it's like this Marvel like Oracle deck, like little tarot deck.
Oh, cute.
Playing with it. My guidance for the future, I was messing with it. It was just like to be more like Loki, and I'm like, I like this. I like this for me. Okay.
That's very open-ended.
Sorry. My brain is all scattered today, but Yeah, thank you for letting me talk about my game retreat. Mostly Snap has been like rage sauce for me. I've been able to go for longer stretches. I've played more Snap. I've quit less, and yet still I quit. I've been thinking. I've been like, what is it? Is it me? Is it Snap? I don't know I don't even know what's wrong with the relationship. I don't even know what would fix it. But it's like, I feel like I'm playing for so long before I'm just like, eh. And it's like, I never leave like, yeah. So it's like, eh. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry I hit the mic. Okay. But you know, like, we're throwing the like phone.
It communicates
like,
how meh you are, yeah.
Right. And it's not like, but it's like, and that's not how you should feel with a game. Like when you're leaving a game, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like if Hades 2, you're just like, I like beat that thing, or I got that thing, or I made that culture thing. And it's like, next time I have all this stuff to try or something. And then, or if, like, you know, all my other games, it's like usually there's a time you can leave feeling stressed. Oh, I won a Frontlines. We pulled it back from the back. Oh, it's so amazing. We held these two teams right at the winning to line. And we're so far behind. We're like less than half of the... Sorry, I'm like just catapulting onward. But like, I'm just saying, I wish that I felt better about Snap. I don't feel satisfied anymore. A lot of times, might be me. Okay,
I've seen a lot of that going around, and I don't know if it's the game or if it's just like we need something fresh, or like the core audience is like, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but. I've been
thinking about it. I've been trying to figure it out. Like, like what is it? Like, I always want to pick apart, like, find the bug in the code, you know? Okay. I will introduce our next host, the amazing, the only, the singular, Benjamin Roller.
Oh, gosh.
How was your weekend Snap?
You know, my weekend Snap was all right. At the beginning of it, there was still Sanctum Showdown, so that has been most of my snapping this week. Alas, it is gone from us. I really did enjoy it. I played a lot of the deck that I always play. I did play some of another deck, and, you know, it's just such a great mode. Other things from my week in Snap. It was a hashtag pod season. I finished at rank 599. I feel like it's a lot easier to get into the top 1,000 than it was last time I did hashtag pod goals in the early days of our podcast. I think there's less. Yeah, I don't know. It's just easier, but I'm still happy about it. It was a pod goal and it was met. Other than that, oh my gosh, I obviously can't disclose any of it, but gosh, if I had been playing a shit ton of the Montabi playtests, I would tell you that I've really been enjoying it. If I could disclose any of that, I would tell you that the music's great and I like the little vending machine guy. But I wouldn't disclose that sort of thing.
Right.
What else happened in my weekend Snap? I played a little bit of Conquest, but I just had so many tickets. Dude, it was just like, it was such a cartoon situation. I felt like I was Lucy trying to shove chocolates in my mouth, trying to get all this Snap stuff done. Like, just like, well, you get so many tickets, and then like scrolls. See, you also get so many tickets, but I was actually talking about scrolls a moment ago. Oh my gosh, so many, like every 8 hours, you gotta lose 4 games of Sanctum, and man, I tried. I deviated from the norm, and I did a little bit of Snap streaming. I streamed a little bit of Snap, and I mean, like, that was the quickest I was able to lose tickets was by, making
doing it for an audience.
Yep. But like, gosh, it's just such a grind to lose 4 games of Sanctum every 8 hours or so, like you can, but all the same, I do love the mode. And I do like winning, but like every time I win, I'm like, well, that's one more scroll I haven't lost. You know what I'm like? It's a whole thing. And then like you're leaving charms on the table if you don't do it that way. And I need to check into the shop. I'm probably going to do it during Lauren's Weekend Snap. Maybe there's a juicy variant in there that I want. I don't know. Point is, I got all my green glyph sporters. I've got enough green glyph sporters that I could like make a whole second Sanctum deck, and it would still be all glyphed out on the edges, and that's fun. I have played a little bit of ladder. Mostly, I was playing a little bit of ladder last season. Not that much. I was playing mostly Conquest because, again, so many dang tickets to burn through. Ticket scrolls. Gosh, am I one of those people who find Snap a little bit stressful lately? Maybe I am. I had not considered myself in that camp of people who like, you know, find it a little taxing or whatever. But like when there are all these like vanishing like opportunities that I've earned, that, you know, like in theory they're finite and limited, and like I have them, so like smoke them if you got them or whatever, because
you got to start letting them burn.
That
burn
is
those gold tickets.
I did burn some. I burned a shit ton of Infinity tickets. I burned I did not check in on every refresh. I tried to be good about Sanctum, but like I like to sleep sometimes. And I had other things to do and like a life to live, and people in my household are sick and need taken care of, and I'm just like, So that's been my weekend Snap. Mostly it's been my weekend Montavi, but I can't really tell you about that. Lauren!
Hey,
Lauren.
I had a great weekend Snap. I know I normally don't get into it. That has more to do with my memory than my privacy. But I can remember some things. I had my birthday right after we recorded. I had you don't listen if you're a foodie, but I had some of my favorite foods, which include raspberries and chocolate. Yes, but also Taco Bell breakfast, which I love all sorts of foods, and I love good food, but I also love trash food. And Taco Bell breakfast I consider to be one of the best foods in the world, and I had it served to me in bed. So delightful. Alongside Mountain Dew with orange juice in it, which they used to serve and now they don't. So, well, we did it with Sunny D, but this is the one time a year I have Sunny D and Mountain Dew together. Anyway, that was great. It was a good day. I've been working hard on a video that I would love to tell you about if I could, but you know, you'll probably see it soon. It's about Major Victory, but you know, for reasons, yeah, I've been deep in the Major Victory sauce, which is, let me tell you, really great.
How deep is
sauce
it?
To be
Looks
lost
pretty shallow to me.
Yep. Let's just say the video has high quality editing, but is only 3 minutes long. So you can all look forward to that whenever that guy comes out. Just today, I met up with other Snap creators who live in Utah, and somebody from Second Dinner who doesn't live in Utah but was swinging through Utah. So we had lunch together today, and it was super fun.
That's nice.
Yeah, Brady and Harry Perry and Roram, I think they're all open about living in the West. So hopefully I didn't just dox anybody. But it was fun. And we went to a restaurant called D's, which is ripe for low-hanging fruit jokes.
Yeah, sure is.
And yeah, it was awesome. Glad I had that opportunity to do that. Let's get into the stuff, the weekly coverage as it's labeled in our outline, but I don't think we ever call it that. Y'all, do you have new thoughts about Shang? Mostly, I think he still stinks.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, he hasn't really been threatening at all to me.
It's I will be very interested to see how they balance this card if they do, because that game start thing is bad.
I'm still seeing it around though,
I've
which
seen
is
some
weird.
too, and I'm like,
I think
why are
people
you
like
still
this
playing
card. I don't know if
this?
they're going to touch it because I think it's popular. I think there's a certain kind of gamer who loves the potential. You know, even if it is so rarely realized and so honestly unspectacular when it is.
It's just like it's bad enough to hurt your draws, but then like it hurts itself because of that. Because you have to draw Shang to do the thing. A
2/1 on reveal gives something +1. That's not worth playing. Like, you need Shang to show up.
Right. And you make it even rarer to draw. This card is so bad.
It's so goofy.
One of the worst Series 5s. Just yucky.
The way I see it is that like a 3, like all the work and setup for this is a lot to be lost to my 1 cost deafening chord. You know what I mean? Like they do all that. That's what I was playing a like Agamotto like Sholau like deck at the beginning of the week. And that's when I was seeing a lot of them. I think it was the weekend mission or whatever. And I was just taking them all out with deafening chord. And I have Joaquin Torres, so it's like I missed it the first time. Doesn't matter. I'll get it in the second hit. Like,
I've been hit by that this week. That's rough. Heads up though, if they transform the rings after you use it deafening chord, they will get their text back. So
that's good to know. That makes sense. That feels
warning.
Fair and appropriate.
Also, the rings retain power buffs, power changes, like Bruce Banner does.
Ooh.
So, something to be aware of, I guess. I don't know how relevant
that's
ever
cool.
going to be. But yeah, like if you hit them with Ironheart, maybe a dumb example. But if you did that and then transformed them, they would keep the +3. Okay.
I like Ironheart.
Let's talk about this week's cards.
It was a great example.
There are 3 of them. Oh, she's not a bad card. Don't see her very much, but like
better card than Shang-Chi.
She's still playable
Master
and better
of the
than
Rings.
Shang-Chi. I agree with that analysis. Okay. Our season pass card, Starlord, Master of the Sun. I rated it 3, and y'all convinced me to rate it 4.
We all held hands at 4. Yep.
And bless you for doing so, because my goodness, we were right. This card is strong. It was the thing that you said that made it click for me was like, or something you said made me think about it this way. And I was like, oh, that is good. It's just, you're borrowing 1 energy from each of your previous turns to spend on the last turn. I'm like, yeah, that's a good thing to do.
Turn 6 energy is the best energy.
Mm-hmm. Except when it's turn 7 energy.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Okay, well, have you played with him? Do you like him? Are you having fun playing against Hela and MODOK played on the same turn?
That part, not so much. I tried. I shoved Starlord into a deck where he didn't like really belong. I was like, let's just jam him in Surfer, see if that can be made to make sense, and it was fine. I got a sense of the card and like how it pops and what its rhythms are and stuff, and it's not so good a deck that I'm gonna share it here, because I try to only bring our listeners the true bangers. But I got a sense of the card. It is strong, does the thing. It does, like, it's doing such a good and desirable thing. Also, now that we've all had it in our hands, does anybody think Kraglin's a real card? It's just shitty Starlord, and it's so shitty by comparison. Oh my gosh, Kraglin is not gonna do anything. Like, look at Kraglin and look at this kid. They're comparable, and it's unflattering.
The exception is when you want to play a 6 cost on turn 4, but you can already do that with Wave. So I guess he's the asymmetrical way to do that, and there'll be use cases, but then you have to draw Kraglin by turn 3 and your 6 cost by turn 4. Like, yeah, I think that is a fair analysis.
Yeah, I did play some Starlord to get a feel, but I hate the mirror, so like I swapped to what can I play to counter this? And what I found to make better use of the energy and time, like with magic they were providing me with, is I was playing Inviswoman First Steps Jocasta, that nonsensory. Because people do not, like, so many people have forgotten or underestimate, or they're like, they think, because they're getting to play out all their stuff. So they're like, I'm going to win. I'm playing out all my stuff. I'm doing all my things. And it's like, yeah, but I have a Jocasta and a Prodigy and an Inviswoman First Steps Out and in Fantasticar, all, you know what I mean? Like, with it goes exponential. I'm gonna go bigger than you, and you help. And I didn't put the cost in. I didn't spend a turn playing Magic. You did that for me. You know what I mean?
All your stuff scales after Fin Fang Foom.
Right? Yeah. So, like, that's... So that was, like, crushing for me, like, all through, like, the 70s, like, after I switched to that. It was just eating up everything. People, like, when I was hitting, people was just, like, underestimating how big I was going to go when I hit it. That's the problem. It's that hidden math, where it's just, like, you know what I mean? Like, bullseye, like, things versus things. And I don't know what the math is. I just know when I hit certain things, it's like, it'll be big. It'll be bigger than whatever they've got. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like it. I don't like playing the game. I wish it was, like, tighter, a little bit, I guess. But that, and then the other thing, I did go back to my Marvelous deck, because once again, if you can play a smart, right, and with the Shadow King, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many people that were doing all this work. I'm like, good, do it more, do it harder. Boom, Shadow King. You know what I mean? Like, right at the end of their Man Spider nonsensory. Like, anyway. So, those were what I was playing. It's like, you know, with that, if you're not trying to stop them from what they're doing, which it does get harder because a lot of it's about dumping at the end, right? It's harder to counter as you go along. Then it's just like, it's that, like, it's like, let them wear themselves out, you know, let them be overconfident in that ring. And then you just need the one punch. You're just like, yeah, I just went activate. Like, and you didn't know that math was going to get that big. I didn't know. Just knew it'd be big enough. Okay.
I mean,
they could have known.
I mean, literally both of you, but but I see what you're saying. Yes.
This is how I play the game. All right.
Yeah. Let's see what else. He can be multi-procced, and people have been doing that with, like, you play him on 4 and then you Grandmaster Abs, man. Like, some of that stuff gets silly. Or I've seen him on Wong too. Yeah. I've heard not as strong at the top, but, you know, the top of the game is a different game, honestly. Here in the middle, you can get away with Hela and MODOK on the same turn, and it's really stupid how easy that is to do. I feel like he's a problem, and I am wary of calling a card a problem when it's 3 days old, not even. But I feel like he is contrary to the core mechanic of snapping and retreating. Because I think right. He makes it so much harder to know when your opponent is failing to do the thing, because what if they're just saving all the energy for the end instead of the fact that they had bad draws, maybe? Like, so that's rough. And there are already some patterns like that, like Black Panther Zola, but that's also, like, really face up, and you either have the way to deal with it or you don't. I don't know.
And it's right, and it's to do with energy, which, as we've seen, you know, like Zabu so many times in the past, just like more energy, more problems.
But I mean, like, this being contrary to the snap thing, like, that's sort of like how good cards have always worked. Like, the ones that, like, make it so your opponent doesn't have the information to snap or retreat effectively, and you do, like, creating that, you know, asymmetry is, like, that's the name of the game. I don't know, but, like, it is kind of like, it's sort of an extreme case of that, and it does, like, take away, like, that is, like, one of the most basic cues to snap is like my opponent has missed their early draws and I have stuff on the board. Like that really is like a cornerstone of the whole thing. So like this is kind of a special case, even among, powerful cards that create that imbalance.
Right. And the more they can skip, the fewer clues you get about what deck they're playing. So I don't know.
The only information is lack of information. It's just like radio silence is like the only message.
Right. It's sort of. I was also really anti Nasty Eliath, like early Eliath, where we did have other cards at the time. Like I think Negasonic was before Eliath, and we had Juggernaut cards that did benefit from Prio, but Eliath really turns the game into like, okay, if you have Prio, you win with Eliath. If you don't have it, you win with Shang-Chi. And it used to be that throwing Prio was almost always the strong thing to do. And Eliath introduced this element where it was like, it doesn't matter who has priority. If somebody has one of the good cards, they're in good shape. They like took away that element of the game where like priority was always the right thing to throw priority. They've adjusted Eliath since, and I don't know. I just it's not necessarily nostalgia for the early game. It's just like sometimes it feels to me like they're moving away from what makes the game good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I guess I should also mention Cosmo. Cosmo's been a card that I've always been like, well, I would like to have priorities so that I can get things down before Cosmo ruins my my day. But
Cosmo's a good prio card, yeah.
But there are only a handful of cards that like really, they sort of dictate the terms. I don't know.
Magus, the super premium season pass card, Evil Adam Warlock, 3/5. Yeah, that's the best description. 3/5, activate, copy the text of a character in your deck with cost equal to your unspent energy without using its unreveal. Well,
I don't think I've seen him at all. I saw him because I got him in a Triskelion, and I looked at it, and I was like, I don't even know. It's like, what? Can I copy him? No. Like, the other stuff in my hand is better. Like, dead. Yeah. Only experience with Magus. I don't think I've seen anyone actually play a deck like that looks like it was built for him.
I saw someone playing one. I couldn't tell what it was supposed to do because, Magus, it's not always easy to tell what they might do. You were planning to win this game? Is that correct? I have to guess at the details because you're playing what seems to me to be one of the least winning cards ever. I mean, I like that it's 3/5, right?
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with this card. And it still feels like maybe there's something that somebody hasn't yet discovered, but like
maybe.
I don't know. Usually cards get solved within the first week. There are exceptions, but that's almost always the case. Yeah, I've seen him some. There was one game I had to retreat from him because he was Iron Man and it was on the Nexus, and that was a problem. But mostly
they had to skip 5 energy.
They paid 8 energy for it, right? So mostly I see people talking about using him for 5 costs like Sarah, and I'm like, that's so bad. An 8 energy Sarah, you have to have a really, really good reason to have Sarah to do that.
Just to count on the thing still being in your deck at that point, it's just wild.
I was trying to think of this. I wanted to do a Magus clip, and so I was trying to think of like, what does Magus do uniquely? And there's very little. Almost anything he can do, Mystique or Prodigy or Jubilee or Iron Lad. Like, there's a bunch of cards who can do something similar.
What if you really need that Howard that's in your deck so that you can see the Howard on top of your deck? It's always thinking that you come to
always
snap
a good
on this
time
for.
when Iron Lad hits Howard. And it's like, Magus can be a 3-cost Sarah, which works with Moonstone if you played that on 4, but that's like you need Magus on 3, Moonstone on 4, and not Sarah in your hand. That's a lot of things that have to go right for you to have invested in this. And if you do draw Sarah, what is Magus going to be instead? And so, yeah, he's bad. The thing I came up with was to immediately pull Stormbreaker, like to play Beta Ray Bill on turn 7, copy Stormbreaker, and use Odin. And it worked.
But that's a clip thing.
But that's a clip hunter thing. There's no way that's a realistic thing to do. I don't... What I was trying to get at is it looks like a clip hunter card, but there's really just not even stuff to do there. Like, it's not even a shenanigans card. And in that case, what is this card? Like, if you're going to be bad, at least be fun.
Yeah.
I say that about Shang-Chi too.
I played a fun bad card in a deck for Secret Homework this week. I'm excited to talk about it. I'm not even sure it's always going to be a bad card. Maybe it'll be a good card someday. I'm so excited.
One more. Moondragon, 2/2. End of turn, +2 power if you played one card this turn and spent all your energy. Have you seen her around? Have you seen people playing Doom 2099?
Not as much the 2099. I've seen more Stardust, I assume, as a preemptive counter to it. Maybe also because there's a lot more like discard or some other stuff going on. Yeah, maybe more for the Hela.
There's some greedy Zola stuff too.
That too. I have seen some of that.
Yeah, I haven't seen Doom 2099, but I have seen Moondragon. I've Shadow Kinged Moondragon several times, but I honestly think I have like 11,000 tokens. And I was like, because I am missing quite a few cards, in regular series 5 and 4, as well as the seasonals. And I'm like, should I be smart and like use it efficiently? But I think I might just blow it all this week on Moondragon and next week.
Oh, really? Are you sure?
They're cards I want to play with, though. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know why, but I like her. Maybe it's just the way she looks saucy. I don't know.
I think it's a good base art illustration, right? She, yeah.
It's called Moondragon. Yeah. Those are two things I like.
It's hard to argue with.
And it's like I like Wiccan stuff. I don't know. I can't want to play with her.
But you have to play only one card. Is that like conducive to after you get all your Wiccan energy? Are you going to be able to play one card a turn? That kind of seems like they're at odds.
That's an interesting. I'm all the time playing a million cards anymore. We're all like disciples of Merlin. We're all just like polymorph, omnipresence. Okay, but we're like, it was novel at first when it's like, oh, we can get arrows from Kate Bishop. Oh, it's so fun. Like, look at all these little cards. And now it's like, we got cards for days. We've got cards that make cards that make cards that make cards. And now it's like, remember the simple times playing one card that used up all your energy? Like Moondragon. Nostalgia. Old snap. Anyway, so like I kind of like the different kind of challenge. I'm kind of tired by the way I can get a million cards and I'm like intrigued. I don't know. Maybe it'll be frustrating and end in failure immediately, but like nevertheless we resist. Okay.
I think I saw one Moondragon the same way I saw one Magus, and I couldn't really tell what they were going for. I gotta say, like, she seems to be about a super premium season pass power level. This is very Dragon of the Moon. It's very Magus. Yeah. I think the one card per turn thing really hurts. She's not giving you electro benefits. Like, it's like there's just nothing. Why? It's such a big ask.
Using so much electro. Have you?
Yeah, but they blink them away, and then
in a long time.
They go back to playing multiple cards a turn.
Yeah, it's Blink or War Machine. And it's like
nobody has like really good splits that I've seen. I'm like, you guys have never played electro in your lives. Okay.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Reasons I don't understand.
Who played an electro to then destroy it with a destroyer, like a cool person, not just blinking it all the time. Level.
Right.
I don't really know why, but I do actually have good splits on Electro. I think it was just because I was splitting a lot of Spider-Man villains, whether or not I was playing them at one point. But like, I do have ink unlocked for him, which always tempts me to toss him in the deck because I do like to play all ink when I can. But like, I'm not an Electro gamer, and I've learned that about myself, and I'm not trying to change it. You know, I know what I like, and it's not Electro. I do like his costume though, the dorky lightning star mask.
It's a great costume.
I love Ultimate Spider-Man, does a lot of things right. I don't think we needed boring bald Electro who wore a nondescript bodysuit. Sorry. I have so many nice things to say about Ultimate Spider-Man, but they dropped the ball there.
You can't improve perfection. Moondragon. I played Starlord shit through the 70s. I did hella. I did a bunch of stuff, goofing off with the card. Hitting the 80s, I think it was Ika. Somebody posted about a Moondragon Doom 2099 deck, and they called Sandman the secret sauce to deal with the rest of the meta. And I will tell you, Sandman has been kicking so much ass.
Oh, for real?
Okay.
I have really been enjoying Sandman Doom 2099, which is funny because I did not like when Doom 2099 was a good card before.
Okay, calling out. You gotta share the deck because I probably will.
Yeah, I would totally have played that for Secret Homework this week.
I was going to play Ika's deck, and so I threw Moonstone into a deck and hit auto build, and it was like 10 of the same cards. I was like, I'll just play this. So I'm playing an off-brand Ika deck. Ika's deck used Storm, which is cool, and he said also a good way to disrupt Starlord.
For the variants.
Okay. Yeah, yes. I've got some great storms. That's true. I used to play her a lot, back before War Machine ruined all my joy.
Yeah.
Moondragon is bad. I never ever want to play her on a later turn than 2.
Yeah,
I've only seen her played on turn 2.
I will play her if she is the only thing I can afford to play, but it feels so bad to play her on 3 or 4. And even when you do get her out on 2, you have to draw perfectly to get her big. And I'm playing a deck that's got a pretty nice curve, and I think I've only gotten her to double digits like twice.
Maybe I won't get her.
She's fine, but I honestly have a lot of games where she stops at 4.
That's not enough anymore. 2's got to do better than that.
Even in the Doom 2099 deck, which should be the one deck where she's better than Chamber, she's not better than Chamber. So she's your backup for Chamber. She's like the 2 you play if you didn't get Chamber. Yeah. I think they need to cut off one of her stipulations, make her just that you spent all your energy or just that you played one card that turn. Or, I saw somebody else's idea, I think it was Rorum's idea, to make her +3, to make the scaling better. And that way it's okay if you miss 1 or 2 of them, and also it means that if you do great with her, she can actually compete with Chamber.
I think the +3 would not be enough. It has to be the first one. I think that like the flaw in the mechanism of like all the energy and 1 card per turn, I think that's the real problem with her. Yeah. I think the version where it's either you spend it all or you play 1 card with +2, I think that's the much more elegant fix. And also, in addition to being more elegant, also more playable. I think the +3 is that would still be asking you to do just this terrible thing that the card is currently asking you to do, and they need to get away from that if they want anyone to use it.
I don't think she'd be too good if she only asked you to play 1 card a turn.
No, especially if it was still +2. I mean, maybe they could combine the 2. I don't think they could though. No, then she's just better.
That would be too good.
Yeah.
Look at this all the work this asks compared to what you can get +2 a turn out of like a set and forget Nebula.
Right.
Nebulas are so annoying to people, and it's just like, you just put it out there and probably, It
Look,
annoys
Ben, you play
me.
a lot of
I
cards.
don't like someone telling me where I play. I like telling other people where they play.
That's why
they don't do that
that's
to me.
why I have a habit of kind of like leaving Nebula alone unless I wanted to play on that lane.
Really?
Anyway.
If you just leave her alone, like I just feel like if I've left her alone, she's easily a 1/5. Yeah,
like 7 or 9.
Right?
You have to leave her alone for so many turns. Are you throwing that lane like entirely?
I thought that's what you were saying.
Oh, I mean, like, I just play cards when I want to play cards there. And, you know, that's usually enough to keep her down low, you know?
But we play different decks. Your plan is, like, usually, I know you've been getting more into tech, but you're always, like, just trying to go taller, trying to do your move stuff. It's like the importance of executing your own plan outweighs everything else. I build decks and play decks in a more turn-to-turn style. You know what I mean? Like, sure, sometimes there's, like, an overall plan, but it's built... So it's, like, more punishing to me in the way I play in the decks I build to leave a Nebula, just, like, to ignore one.
I can't think of, like, a lot of times when I'm like, you know what went wrong in that last match? I just let Nebula get away from me. I like, that's not a familiar experience to me.
Well, maybe she's flying under the radar.
Maybe, you know, maybe I am losing games and I'm just not attributing it to the real culprit who has been, I guess it was Nebula all along. I don't know. I'm saying that a little
tongue in cheek, but also I do think it's a phenomenon that people are much more able to attribute game losses to the turn 5 and 6 cards than they are to the earlier ones, even if the early ones were actually the responsible ones.
Early cards can be pretty cool. I like playing cards early.
Okay, vibe check on next week's card. Drax 2, Mr. Avatar of Life. 3/4, end of turn, +3 power. If your opponent played a card with greater power this turn, move to that card if you'd be winning its location. He seems fun. It's certainly the meta for him.
Yeah. Yes, that is true. It is the meta for him.
He fits into the weird, like, move cards I like Silk and Batrock. I want to try another Silk Batrock nonsense probably with this one. Maybe I'll skip Moondragon till they, like, inevitably buffer, and then just, like, see what I can do with the Drax.
This is really a rough
I like playing
season.
little cards, you know? I love... There's a whole Snap era of mine where my constant struggle was playing, like... so much tech or so much Ravonna nonsense that I wasn't getting enough power even when I was completely like shutting them down. So, okay. Yeah, anyway, I'm into it. I know it's probably weak, I guess. I've started looking at like what can get me excited to play Snap, and that's like the only judging cards.
You know, Ree, I know something that might make you excited to play Snap. Surprise high voltage. How about that? I'm kidding. But, you know, I'm happy. As I always say for high voltage, I'm happy for the people who like it. But this is a cosmetics only run. I probably will not play it at all, except
I'm not playing a single game.
I might knock out some bounties there, but probably not, honestly.
My sole goal is to get the Groot variant. It's like, okay, I need to play enough Conquest to get the Groot variant. If I do that, all else may pass.
Okay. Those are very reasonable goals that might even be easier to do than reaching infinite. On to our side quests, right? Anything else? Speak now or forever hold your peace. First up and only this week, secret homework. The secret homework was from Ree.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the secret homework was to play someone else's deck and bonus points if it like was like something that was like not in your wheelhouse or slightly uncomfy or whatever in some way. And I reached for the stars and I very much failed my own secret homework, to be honest, because like, okay, first I was like, okay, I will stream and play like people's decks and that'll be cool, and then I'll have a whole thing to tell. And then I just like wasn't. Sometimes the plans of past and present Ree fall apart in the face of the battle that is life. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to stretch myself, and I'm going to I'm going to ask my friend and game artist studio partner Frank for his favorite. He has like this like Mr. Negative deck has always been like his favorite, and he's got like, it's the one. I love people's decks that they like blinged out like from the old days where they got it all like gold or all ink before there was more splits and like all crackle and stuff. And he's got one of those in like all the Hellfire Gala variants, and it's very like classy and elegant. Like, and I made the deck, and I like tuned up my variants the best I could for a bunch of these cards that I don't play as much. And and then I lost like 5 proving grounds in a row and like rage. Like, it was just like, I don't know why. Okay, it's like, you know how sometimes like 2 of your very good friends, because I know Lauren has played a lot of negative in her day as well, like they really like this like show or something, and you're like, okay, and you've tried to get in the show and you don't like it, but like you keep trying because you're like, my friends really like it, and you know, we are all human beings of excellent taste, so I don't know why I should not also like the show. That's me with Mr. Negative. Like, I go in and I'm like, this time will be different. I'll like it because I will try harder to like it. And then I just hate it. It's so like telegraphed to me. It's so like just like not the way I like to play. I just like when people have countered, I had to be like, I don't know, do they have the because usually like people don't know what I'm doing to counter me a lot of the time. I mean, yes, with the Invis Woman first steps, but that's on them if they like underestimated the power of Jocasta and all that. But like yeah, it was a lot of times I had something set up and then it's just like, yeah, they snapped and I should have retreated because that meant they had the counter. But like, I don't know. Anyway,
it's okay to stay when you're learning a deck. It's fine.
Yeah, and it was proving grounds, but it just like also it's just I've had this real sore loser energy towards Snap lately. If I'm not actively cooking a deck where I expect to lose as I'm building, and I've got this like cooking brain on it, like okay, like when I'm just like I'm just playing to win. What? I didn't win? How could this happen to me? Like, you know?
When the best players in the game have like a 60% win rate. Yeah.
Yeah. And like Proving Grounds is always AQ. And I guess it's just like I haven't been playing enough or playing enough Conquest yet. It's just like, it's Proving Grounds. Who cares? But for some reason I was like, so like salty anymore about Snap. Anyway. So, okay, but I did have a turnaround because I was like, do I have time to play another deck today? And I was like I was playing counters what I saw, and I'm like, okay, my Marvelous deck that I went over will be good against what I'm doing. And like the first deck, and then I was winning. I'm like, okay, the first deck that beats me, I'm going to play that deck. And it was a junk deck. It was like a Goblins deck, which was great because have you guys been seeing a lot of Galactus? I have been seeing a lot of Galactus.
Yeah, I've been seeing Galactus.
Oh, really? I've been seeing a lot of Galactus, so I'm like, yeah, let me throw some Gobos.
That's another way to deal with Starlord.
Right? Yeah. Well, Junk's always, it's like if you fill up their lanes like in the right moment, it gets harder because people are much better now, and there's much more options. I think what made Junk better before was like if you filled that lane, you were filling it like permanently, and then they could outpower you, right? But now, because we have all the spells from Merlin, we have all these cards that move, it's much easier
in general.
Right? Once someone detects that that's the deck you're playing, which it's very obvious, right? If you're playing like an Annihilus style deck, usually right away, once it gets the Goblin, like they can usually tell what lane you're going to go for, or even any of lanes, and fill up the lane without actually paying the penalty for that, you know? And then you're stuck with, then even if you were going to Annihilus after that, you wasted your turn on like Hobgoblin. Straight. Anyway, so interesting. It was interesting because I haven't played that for a while. I haven't played like Annihilus style deck for quite a while, and I'm like, oh, it's interesting how this is used to be so much more punishing, and now it's just so much more easier to play around with the new tools we have. But it was still like, it was still fun to play, and like a Celine and all of that nonsense. So that was enjoyable. Okay, Ben, is there signing our new homework? So, oh my gosh, it looks like you played. Whose deck did you play, Lauren? I'm gonna give it away from you.
I played a deck from the original Good Egg. But first, you were talking about Proving Grounds, and I want to vent briefly about Proving Grounds because it is, and I'm slightly averse to doing so because I know I want unranked in the game bad, and I think that whatever is wrong with Proving Grounds a lot of that would translate to an unranked mode. But it is so sweaty. And it's not just that people are playing good decks. Like, I think that's a little silly, but like, maybe you're learning the meta deck. Like, I'll forgive that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't know why Proving Grounds is so sweaty. And then when you lose, they beast emote you. And you're like, you know, we were playing Proving Grounds, right? You saw my deck. You saw that I'm doing shenanigans. Like, what is wrong with you, child?
Gosh. I was playing some Sanctum as I am wont to do. And like, I was losing one. And when I'm losing one, I will still, on the final turn, when I can tell I'm going to lose, I will snap so that the winning person gets the maximum number of charms. This fucker beast emotes me and says, snap, snap, snap a million times. And I'm like, I'm trying to be nice to you. You understand that, right? You must need this so badly, you little fucking loser. Oh my God. People are so pathetic.
Usually people get it.
Everyone, I haven't seen a bad emote in so long because it's such a habit to me.
Usually when I snap on the last turn, and hopefully this is your experience too, Ben. Usually when I do that to donate the thing,
I fist bumped and everything to let them know that like, this was in the spirit of camaraderie.
They're like, hell yeah, let's go. Like, that always feels like a good thing, having the extra camaraderie. But
this person really needed to let me know that I was a fool for snapping, and I should have known that they were going to win, and they're better than I am, and they're really smug about it.
Oh, you just reminded me. I got one last night where somebody gave me a snap as soon as the game ended. Like, snap, snap, or as soon as and it looked like they were winning, and then their Strange Supreme ate something off of the lane, and I won by one power.
Yeah, and I see that all the time. All the time. People think they've won.
Of course I did.
You better send me that wounded Deadpool emote. Yeah, that was a little bit of a whoopsie, wasn't it?
Oh man. Okay. The original Good Egg, Wombat Combat, he posted this in the Speakeasy. And so perhaps others of you have played this also. But he named it This Deck Rocks. I named it Wombat Rocks. It's a very cute deck. Ahead of Ozymandias, who we're getting next month, I think. Okay, let's just read it out. We have Herbie, Invisible Woman, Rhino. Pay attention to all the cards that can make rocks. That's 2 already. Patriot, Mole Man, Debris, Blue Marvel, Valkyrie, Onslaught, Mockingbird, and then Fin Fang Foom and Death are both here only to be Mole Man targets, which I don't love, but it is cute conceptually.
Yes.
This is a meme deck, and I did not play a ton of games with it, probably like 8 games with it. And when it goes right, it's really fun, but it doesn't go right very often. I've got to be honest. Maybe I'm playing it wrong.
Right.
Maybe I'm not abiding by the way of the Wombat.
No, this is a shared dream of me and Wombat. I just want to argue with Wombat about the Fin Fang Foom and Death, because I feel like probably we can do better there, but yeah. But I love the concept.
It's so all in on Mole Man, and let me tell you, when Mole Man hits, having 2 very high power rocks in your hand is dope. But what if you don't draw Mole Man? Or what if you don't have a good opportunity to play him? Or what if he hits Invisible Woman? Like, there's a lot that can go wrong. Yeah. But anyway, it's fun to play Valkyrie in a context I don't usually play her. I have done some Valk Patriot stuff, and it is pretty good. But it was fun to walk in somebody else's shoes. I don't think Wombat purports that this is anything but a meme deck, but I still enjoyed playing it. Yeah.
It's like a different kind of memery for you, because you're usually going for a very specific clip that you have very like specifically built for, and this is just more general memery.
Right, this is more like we're playing it like it's a serious deck, but it's not. And so there's a lot more like flexibility. There's alternate play lines. Yeah. That was refreshing, although I disagree with having 2 cards in the deck that we can't even play.
I feel like it's better there.
Well, I mean, you can play Fin Fang Foom with Herbie if you're willing to not make a rock with Herbie,
and
which does feel against the spirit.
It all works out right.
Yeah. So I guess you're right.
Well, you know why I've thought about that so hard? Because I also played Wombats. This deck
Hell
rocks.
Yeah! Yay! I should have played it too.
I played 2 Proving Grounds with it, and nobody was snapping at the beginning. These were real full Conquest matches. I love Conquest. I do. I still have fun playing Conquest. I know a lot of people, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's like the best, and I love it. Anywho, I would tell you what's in this deck, except Lauren just did. I played it as Wombat intended, and couldn't find Invisible Woman for the longest time on the collection screen because I forgot she's 2/4 now, but sure, she's 2/4. That's cool. I found myself having a lot of really awkward turn 6s where I had something that cost 2 that I wanted to play, and something that cost 5, and I just couldn't play both of them. But it is, I believe it is intended as a meme deck, and I did win a game in one of my conquests. I won 4 cubes. I proceeded to lose the other, all the other games after that, but that's fine. And I never got big Mole Man rocks, but I did have fun playing Mole Man, and I was getting closer to winning games than I think anyone could have expected. There were a lot of times where I was like, if I'd played Blue Marvel in a different lane, these numbers would have broken my way. And it's a lot of fun. Sometimes it's fun to play fun decks, and Wombat Combat's the original good egg. And I was a little worried this might happen, because it did look like such a fun little deck to play. I was like, I bet somebody else played this deck, so I should have another deck that I couldn't resist. And so I will talk about a deck that I don't think anybody else played, and that's...
Can I finish a thought about rocks real quick?
I wish you would.
Okay. Before we go on to a new deck, I did feel like this was close. Like you said, like it's closer than you expect this little deck to do. I found it really, really hard to win without Patriot, but that made me think maybe Ozymandias is enough.
That might be enough. That might nudge it.
Real.
Yep. I really hope so, because I'm just rooting for Mole Man. Always have been, always will be. Rupert, that's my guy. Anywho, This was not my plan A for this secret homework. I did play a Safety Blade deck this week, and I feel like that's basically the only deck builder I ever talk about on this podcast. So that was not my plan A, but he did build a hell of a Sanctum Showdown deck, and I really enjoyed playing it. His Sanctum deck was Kitty Pryde, Batroc the Leaper, Hydra Bob, Ezekiel Sims, Craven, Spider-Man, Silk, Hydra Stomper, the Prowler, Shang-Chi, Stegron, and Sholao the Undying. And it really works. Sholao's pretty good in Sanctum. It's, it'll be like, that's a full lane. You filled the lane that turned out to be the Sanctum last turn. That was very sloppy of you. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm about to put 12 more power on it that you didn't know about. So give me the charms. Hell of a deck. I didn't stop playing my own because it wasn't working well enough. I just wanted to try this one because it looked so exciting, and Safety Blade was kind enough to say that I somehow inspired it on Blue Sky, and that's very sweet. He didn't realize that I was on Blue Sky and had been following. He noticed just now when I liked this one. I'm liking Safety Blade posts all week long. I'm like, I don't go looking for, like, mostly I just scroll the feed from time to time. But like, if I am gonna search somebody up in the corner, it's probably like Safety Blade, because I'm trying to find that Safety Blade deck. Like, I'm not only am I on Blue Sky, I'm like, Safety Blade is like one of my primary points of like interactions. I don't know how it took him this long to notice that I was there.
Doesn't watch his notifications, apparently.
I guess not. That's very healthy. But yeah, that deck is super cool. When Sanctum comes back around, you should totally try it. That's what I say. Also, the rocks, I really hope Ozymandias pushes them into serious relevance. And yeah, it's fun to play other people's decks. They have cards in them that I would never put in there. Like, I'm never thinking about Invisible Woman. I'm never. I mean, she's great, but I'm not putting Kitty Pryde in a whole lot of my decks on purpose, because, you know, she's just not one of my cards. But like,
sometimes by accident.
Well, you know, sometimes I'll be trying. I have sometimes been like, could she be the right thing for this? Because, you know, she's friends with Hope and other cards that I like. But yeah, I never really tried her in Sanctum or anything, and she worked okay there. Mostly I think she's there to be a Sholau buddy, and very effective.
I put her in your Sholau Surfer deck. I put her in your version of that deck.
I bet that's good too. I considered that as well. Maybe I should try it.
All right.
Well,
what's
that
our
was
homework?
fun. Now I suppose I must assign some secret homework. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I had a taxing week. I feel a bit weary. I don't want to make us do anything too demanding. So I'll say, here we are in Guardians Greatest Hits Volume 2. And I think maybe we should take a stroll back in Marvel Cinematic History and watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And see what that speaks to us of in 2026. Lo, these however many years later. What do we think of the waxy de-aging of Kurt Russell in the opening scene? What do we think of the first appearance of Mantis on screen? I don't know. I was just like, what's easy? Also, because this one is intended to be so easy, that's right, I'm specifying that it's absolutely okay to make it a second screen experience. sorry cinephiles, but I'm gonna be on my fucking phone playing some Marvel Snap probably while I watch.
But you have to play Mantis while you're watching it.
Also, this homework is super easy to fake if you don't want to do it, because I bet we've all seen this movie at least once.
I have seen it at least once, and I don't remember it.
Well, believe there's a lot of Baby Groot in it. Some ELO, Mr. Blue Sky. What else do I remember from Guardians 2? Adam Warlock shows up at the end.
I do remember it being the one with Mantis and Ego. I remember that, but I couldn't tell you anything else.
Yeah.
All of the jokes gone. It'll be like it's the first time.
There's a big monster, and Drax cuts his way out of the big monster from the inside. This is also during the aforementioned Mr. Blue Sky scene. All right, I'm doing next week's homework today. No, I can't do it. We're not discussing the movie. I apologize for spoiling it for all the listeners who are going to watch along with us. I just wanted this one to be easy. Can't things be easy sometimes? Sometimes life is hard.
Yeah, indeed. Well, on that cheery note, if you liked what you heard, do all the things, interact, feed the algorithm, feed our souls. Come join us in the Speakeasy, our little corner of Discord. Instructions in the show notes or video description. We are proudly part of the Snap Judgments Network, where you can listen to other great shows like the titular Grand Pod Snap Judgments from Pulse Glazer and Nick the Greek Geek on Saturdays. All the way from Vietnam. Well, half of it, or a quarter, or what, it depends on how many guests there are. Anyway, tune in next week. Take a deep breath. Same Snap time, same Snap channel.
Wow. Really putting some stink on that last one. Ooh, baby.
I don't have the patience to do it right. I'm sorry.
All right. If no one had something burning, I have a suggestion for outro.
Shoot.
Okay, I'm calling it Roulette, in which I give you
I love
a number of topics, and you decide which one. I think it's a good podcast. Okay, topic 1 would be Comics Corner that we didn't have time for a couple weeks ago that I was going to do. B, Harley Quinn Comics Corner that I read today. Okay. 3, I watched Nimona. Finally.
Yay!
My movie challenge. We could talk about that. 4, I don't know, could be what I started telling you about before the podcast. Then we started podcast instead. And then I feel like there should be 5 because I just don't like 4 instead of 5.
E.
So 5 is wild card. I don't know. Something.
Oh, okay. Is it?
Yeah.
It's the modern run of Harley Quinn?
Yes.
I believe written by Elliot Kalan.
Current. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you're familiar.
I'm interested in that. Well, I adore Elliot Kalan. He's on.
I also adore podcast. Elliot Kalan.
Oh, really?
Joke farming.
I was so impressed. I'm like, oh man, if I talk to her, if I talk about Harley, I should know who the writer was. And I'm like so proud that I remember the name, and you know who it is.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not someone
I know him
had heard of.
Mostly from the Flophouse, which is
I also know him from the Flophouse, but also
sure.
I like some of the other television. I feel like he's most famous for being the former head writer of The Daily Show, but I've seen some other television he's written, and I also enjoyed that. Yeah, big Elliot Kalan fan. He's a good egg. Not the original good egg. That's obviously Wombat Combat, but you know.
Right. Yeah, so I want to hear about this. Also, I like Harley Quinn. And so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I've read, so Harley Quinn obviously is another interesting character. I'm always interested in kind of like a study of these kind of like reclaimed female characters. I feel like they're characters that, I don't know, we've probably talked about this in the podcast before, but the idea that when you're young, there are a lot of, especially female characters that were mostly kind of like more sexual objects or less important to plot. They're just like, they weren't super great characters, but like there was something cool, right? You see like Poison Ivy or Harley Quinn, and they just look cool. Like a cool design, a cool vibe is really a big superhero. And when some of these people who love these characters grew up, they wanted to then give that character, like Batgirl being the perfect example, right? Being like broken by Joker and, but then becoming Oracle, anyway. So Harley Quinn, her low point for me in my knowledge of Harley Quinn, right, having been created from the Batman animated series, right, was where she was, and then of course, obviously, like all great superhero animated things, it comes back into the comics. But she was attached to Joker, right? Because she was created as Joker. And Joker is just like, a messed up dude is his whole thing. And whose only love kind of and care is Batman, right? He's never really care about anyone else that he's with. And I remember for Harley Quinn, there's this moment, and this is like, right, she, like, her design has changed. She's out of the Jester costume. She's got the pigtails. She's got a really cool, like, punk, like, aesthetic that's going to appeal to people of all ages, but young girls as well. And I remember they did a contest for art of Harley Quinn, and it was like suicide, like wristlet in a bathtub kind of thing. And it was just like, I just remember me and my friend, we were just like, this is messed up. Like, what are you all doing with Harley Quinn? Especially someone that's being idolized by young girls. They were glorifying like the toxic, like the Joker Harley Quinn relationship, which is just it's not a good relationship, right? But then but
I thought about that a lot when I was working at Hot Topic many years ago. We sold a lot of merchandise, and I really that bothered me to think about that stuff. Anyway, continue.
People love Harley Quinn, right? And so eventually, right, just so many times to people who really love the character and saw her as more, wanted to give her more than just like this just object to be possessed, got a hold of her, and they had her like leave Joker and really stand her out. And it's hard to like separate, in like superhero pantheons, to like break apart a character, especially like Joker and Harley, who were so, seen as such a unit. But they left. There's so many comics that kind of like, that kind of began to address like what happened, like kind of to Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy as real characters, right? There's so many of the best comics is remembering that they're like people, and not just plot devices. And there's comics that address that. And then they have Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy and like end up in a relationship together, and it's cute and it's sweet and everyone loves it, and it generates all like the best fan art, of course. And now both, and it's done so well, like both characters have their own long running. Poison Ivy is in like, what did I just read of hers? It's like 40 maybe something, issue 40, issue 20, I don't know, but it's like Poison. I'm usually reading like 5-issue runs of like these characters, right? And Harley Quinn's also been going on for it. Okay, so the current run, when it started, it's like she's just been on this really like zany ride for a while. And when this character just kind of seems to go that direction, I had no attachment to this writer, right? I have an attachment to the character. I've been reading it. I probably noticed a writer change, hopefully, when I got it. And he started adding in so much nonsense. But it's like, and this latest issue I read today was the payoff of a lot of it. These are things that Harley Quinn has been up to. It's like, it's so good because, right, there's, when you're fourth wall breaking in comics, right, like a Deadpool style thing, which they've dipped their toes into with Harley before, it's so hard to not just like mimic Deadpool. And it's just like, oh, you're just doing a Deadpool, Yeah, I've seen that before, But like, but this is like her own like weird ass wacky flavor. So I love that he's clearly someone that understands and knows this character. She has done, save this panel to show to her friend. She had a one-night stand in her mind with her own brain, who is now like a separate character in comic. It's her brain, like with a mask, and it's brain Harley. She's just like, thanks for that. Mind if I go take over the body for a while? It's like, yeah, go get it. It's just like, what is going on? It's so, she's been hanging out with they're called the gun buddies. It's like these two women, like, they're kind of like henchmen, but they're their own little team of mercenaries that are like, friendship, like, and guns, and they're so goofy. And you never see that with you like to see little like funny duo male characters, Pumbaa and Timon. There's so many like groups of that. You don't see that as often with women, and they've been so much fun. It's just like all this stuff slowly. I was just like, I'm really like into this comic, like where I didn't think I was. In this latest issue, she has come up against the Deconspirator, who is he breaks the wall where Harley Quinn and this character address him as the writer in it, because his goal is the idea of this villain is, while he was being created, by the writer as fodder for Harley Quinn, you know, to like beat up and dismiss. Because you forget, right? Like writers are always just inventing new characters to come in and be beaten up by superheroes. And maybe some of them they secretly hope will be cool and stick around and get big, and they could have created a big one. And sometimes it's just that they needed someone and this fit the bill, right? Whatever. So there's always new throwaway characters being created. But this character, when he was given the conspirator powers, he realized that all of their actions were meaningless because it was all predetermined by the writer. And he goes, when he faces Harley Quinn, you know, at the end of this, he's having broken apart the whole world that like she's built up, and you're kind of like, where has he come from? She meets him while she's sleeping in the road in a dream. He's like, oh, I'm several panels ahead, but like, we're going to talk about this now. It's just like, okay. And all of it is like clever quips all throughout and stuff. And so there's a point where he's breaking down Harley Quinn, but he's not just talking about her character as she's been in the comics. This is a meta conversation about the discourse around Harley Quinn. And I found this so fascinating because just last week, I'm pretty sure I saw a Reddit post where people were bemoaning, like, there's a group of Harley Quinn fans that are like, it's Paul Dini, right? Who made the animated Batman and was one of the creators, at least, of Harley Quinn. And they're like, that version, the cartoon where she's in the Harley Quinn outfit, that was perfection. In any way they've tried, look how far she's fallen. Look what they've like done to her. Because she was like kind of just a sex object in the comics for like quite a number of years. They've also like, as much as like I've enjoyed this comic, there's a comic coming out that's just about her farts or something. It's just like, what is that? Okay.
Oh, it's like an April Fool's one-off or something. Yeah. All
right, you know, but everything doesn't have to be for me. That's fine. If people want to read about farts, have your farts and read about them. You know, so like, but like he's talking, but like exactly like this Reddit discourse, this idea. He's like, aren't you mad? You've never had agency over your character, and I was just discussing this with Captain Marvel about female characters and sometimes male characters, but characters they deem unimportant or have a different meaning than being like a person, that just get yanked around and who they are. And he's like, aren't you furious? Aren't you so mad? Nothing you do is me. Everyone's just decided for you. You know, you've been this and that and everything. And she just kind of like looks out and she's like, oh, is it that like balding guy out there? It's like, like what, you know, you just have this like get on the artist it must be fun to draw. It's like, yeah, draw the character like looking out at you. But like, and Harley Quinn is just like, hey, thanks everyone, you know? And he's so nonplussed that she's like not at all upset. He's laid it all out for her, and she's like, that's awesome. Like, I get to exist. I came from like a hench girl. Look at everything I have now. I get to be with Poison Ivy. Like, I've got to have all these journeys. They do this cute little panel that's like the evolution of Harley. You know, the like monkey to human thing. And it's like Harley like crouching down, but like going through some of her different outfits. And I was like, I'm like, this is such... It is so hard to pull off what this writer's trying to do, which is like a meta discussion that like both works as like an entertaining comic within itself that fits in the larger story that they've been telling, but is also such a meta commentary on the character outside of it, and the audacity to put yourself in. Like, this isn't a Mary Sue or Gary Stu. This is like, hey, they're looking at me. They're talking to me. And it's like, to me, that's one of those things I'm like, you better pull this off or you're getting knocked for ego. And you know, and I really enjoyed, I have really enjoyed his run to the point where it's like, oh yeah, you gotta find out who's been writing. It has come together in such a clever, interesting, funny way. I loved hearing you guys talk about like you knew who this was.
Again, I will plug his recently released book, Joke Farming.
I'll have to check out Harley Quinn. we already talked about it a bunch, so I don't want to take it too far, but like something I love about the cartoon, the HBO one.
I love that show so much.
There are a lot of things to love about it, but one thing is she's totally left the male gaze, and her relationship with Poison Ivy is it feels real. They both feel like 3D characters, and they have problems in their relationship, but they stay together. Not in like an unhealthy way. I just mean like it's a trope for queer people to their relationships never last. So it's nice that like I think the show creators have said no, they're staying together. So that's nice, and I think it's good. I'm glad to hear that Mr. Kalin has done such a good job with it, especially because without knowing any specific writer, I would want it to be written by a woman, ideally. But it sounds like he's handling it with aplomb. Woo!
Oh yeah, I guess we should have had like a stinger. Somebody quick, something clever.
Are we gonna get to hear about the other topics at some point in the future?
Oh, they're lost. Not today.
I really hope
they're lost to the Reether.
Oh dear.